Hello. The IBM PC, or more accurately, the IBM Model 5150, was launched on August the 12th, 1981, and its architecture still forms the basis for modern PCs that we see today. This is the Biostar MB-8500TVX motherboard that was disassembled from an IBM-compatible PC clone that was brought back to life in the mid-1990s by my dad. In this video, I will examine the different parts and components of the motherboard and explain how they all work. The CPU, central processing unit, of the computer is the primary component of a computer that processes instructions. The CPU contains at least one processor, which is the chip in the CPU that does all the calculations. Above the CPU is a fan and a heatsink. These are here to stop the CPU from overheating. In this case, this is a Cyrix 686MX CPU running at 133 MHz. This was manufactured for IBM. Flash ROM is a type of non-volatile memory storage medium that can be electrically erased and reprogrammed. So it is like RAM, random access memory, and ROM, read-only memory, due to how it's like ROM, as it's non-volatile, and it's like RAM, as it can be erased and reprogrammed. The most important thing about flash memory that you should remember is that it contains the BIOS of the computer, its instructions to boot up. This chip is also used in thumb drives and other storage devices. The clock here is what lets the computer know what the time is. However, the chip also incorporates a battery which powers the flash ROM BIOS next to it. The RAM, random access memory slots, on the motherboard, where the RAM chips are placed. These memory chips are dynamic RAM chips, which are slower than static RAM chips, but not as expensive. This particular chip has two 128 megabyte chips. At the time, these computers had a maximum of 512 megabytes of memory, much less than what we have today. Sram Static Ram is a type of memory that is generally faster than dynamic RAM because it uses technology called flip-flop electronics. However, the circuitry is more expensive to make. Due to how fast static RAM is, it's used for multiple applications such as graphics. Tag RAM is a specialized bank of static RAM that's used to hold addresses, so that when someone tries to open a file, instead of looking through every file in the computer to find the right one, the computer can instantly find and open that file. A IDE, Integrated Drive Electronics, is a standard electronic interface between a motherboard and the computer's disk storage devices. The primary IDE controls the interface with the drive which holds the operating system for the computer, normally the C drive. The secondary IDE controls the other storage devices, such as other hard drives and storage devices. The Super I/O chip controls the input and output of devices, such as game ports infrared devices, and more. The AT and PCI slots, Peripheral Component Interconnect slots, on the motherboard are where other components for the computer, normally output components, are attached to the motherboard, like the graphics card, sound card, and networking ports. The PCI chips allow the buses and electronics to allow the CPU, RAM, and input-output devices to interact. The keyboard controller is a device that interfaces a keyboard to a computer. When a key is pressed, the keyboard controller raises an interrupt to allow the CPU to handle the inputs. This design, and many of the concepts behind it, are still used in modern PCs today. The main difference is that in some areas we have significantly improved performance and capacity. For example, a typical PC today would have a CPU running at 3 to 4 GHz compared to the 133 MHz from this motherboard. Modern computers today would also have about 18 to 16 gigabytes of memory compared to the 512 megabytes of this motherboard. Thank you for watching.